ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Vanitas, and I gotta say, this was probably the best episode yet. Really, more people need to watch this series. The conflict we had this episode, the inner struggles, culminating with what we found out a few episodes ago, especially previous episode, felt so good, and I wish I had next episode to just press play instantly, especially with the way it ended. It's really becoming one of my favorite series, mainly thanks to the characters, their interactions, and of course the tragedy that all of them have suffered, and Misha kind of being that stir the pot guy in this episode. And of course, that day with what happened and the problems that it's causing now in the present. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, picks up straight from last episode with Vanitas face to face with Misha and Noe, curious what was happening there. But you can definitely see it's a much different Vanitas. By the way, he was talking very serious, straight to the point, that frustration, that anger, especially in his voice and the way he's just talking straight, directly asking questions, just tunnel vision, one mind track. Now, Misha is a complete psychopath from what we've seen so far. Even though I like him quite a lot in the flashbacks, he feels like a deranged person right now. There's also something more that happened to him, and I'll talk a bit more about that. Now, the curious thing that Vanita said, which got me thinking especially about Misha, saying that he doesn't remember that day, as in Misha doesn't remember that day when Vanitas killed Luna, the Blue Moon vampire. It's like he has some hate also towards Luna, or definitely something more happened with that day. I can't wait for that episode. But the reason why I mention it is, feels like Misha probably blocked that day, maybe because of trauma, because even he says he doesn't remember that day, and he's there to get Vanitas, and even himself he thought he died. No, he also said something very curious. Someone kind. I'm trying to stress kind because I'm not so sure that was kind, or maybe the way Misha kind of has this warped perception of the world, sees that person as kind of, can you even call it a person, saved him. There's also a way to bring Luna back, and this is where Vanitas gets very visibly angry, like something snapped, something triggered inside him, and I really liked those moments quite a lot. But before we get into it, let me talk a bit about that kind person. Would it be the teacher? Would Rudven be the one working and trying to stop this resurrection of the Blue Moon vampire? That's why he's so antagonistic against the teacher. Kind of got my gears going, so to say, thinking about it. We still don't have a lot of information about the teacher. So far, Vanitas has kind of been the biggest mystery of the main characters, but as of a few episodes, this one, previous one, found out quite a lot of things about him. Now, the biggest elephant in the room, or two elephants, is the teacher being the biggest one. Kind of feels like the main villain. And also Ruthven. Oh, three, my bad. The elephants are multiplying with the charlatan parade. Also, Naenia was the purposes, their connection to Vanitas' mother. A lot of questions, and even more after this episode with this kind person. But hopefully, we'll get some answers with more episodes. I hope we're gonna get a season 2 or 3, however you wanna call it. We're gonna talk more about that in the last episode after it airs. Now, get back into this episode. Vanitas, like I said, very angry, actually shoots a warning shot at Misha. The one gets blocked, and you see the anger in him. He tried very hard to erase that vampire from existence, referring to Luna, which something very big must have happened that day with Luna sacrificing herself or himself. I forgot to mention, somebody made a very good point in the comments in the previous video, that the Blue Moon Vampire doesn't really have a gender, and both Vanitas and Misha kind of see the Blue Moon Vampire as what they're missing in their lives, with Vanitas seeing Luna as a mother figure, Misha seeing Luna as a father figure, sort of a theory along those lines, and apparently even a scene was cut out from the anime to kind of put that a bit more into perspective about them. I feel kind of helps a bit more to look at Luna, so to say. Now we find out, or my bad, Noe tells Vanitas about Domi being used as a hostage. Vanitas was willing to let Domi die. He definitely felt like a Terminator there in that mode. It doesn't have anything to do with me. At first I thought it could be like Vanitas kind of playing the long game, so to say. Doesn't matter to me just saying it in front of Misha. I even have Noe kneels down and begs him to tell him everything that happened that day, to actually have a conversation to him, get to the bottom of this. But Vanitas really wasn't having any of it. You see, more it was escalating more and more. It got more serious, more dangerous. Actually, there's a warning shot at Noe saying, "You don't matter to me. You're nobody to me." That one hit kind of hard for Noe, especially after everything they've been through. Noe also wants to do everything not to lose Domi, feeling guilty about Louis, also both of them feeling guilty about Louis. Even Vanitas got a bit of a reaction when he heard the name Louis. Misha just this dude was just definitely stirring the pot over there with everything he was doing, every action, everything he was saying. He definitely wanted both of them to fight, spilling the beans on Louis, telling them the history, what Domi also went through with her, feeling guilty that Louis died and she wanted to die in Louis' place. Even see a flashback with Noe telling Domi that he likes her with long hair, and that was something very important for Domi that helped her quite a lot. I feel like from that moment on it kind of amplified the conflict between both Vanitas and because Vanitas actually threatens to kill Domi, and instantly we've seen this moment in a lot of series, be it in Mushoku, being in so many series, when a character just snaps and goes instantly on the attack. And in this case you have Noe like a beast going after Vanitas in rage mode over there. But there's a lot more happening. We kind of saw a bit of Noe's side, his motivation, everything he has to deal with, trying to protect Domi, also trying to find out about Vanitas. But now we see it from Vanitas' point of view, a flashback of Luna telling Vanitas, "Don't let anyone get your memories." So they keep amplifying what happened that day, that it's so serious. Even Luna told him not to let anybody get his memories. Vanitas almost shoots out Noe's eyes. Misha in the background was enjoying everything. Kind of felt he had an orgasm there. He had that face. He was just, yeah, keep going, keep going. I'm almost there. And we have, which I kind of feel like it's a long time coming, even though they like each other, they don't really admit it, but they also have some unresolved things between them. Finally have Vanitas versus Noe. They go at it. Misha was enjoying the show, even I was enjoying the show. I don't want to see them fighting. It also makes such a good episode seeing this happening. And yeah, even though Vanitas was holding his own with traps, with the books, Noe was slamming, just trying to overpower him. Vanitas actually uses some of the same drugs, steroids that we've seen the paladins use, and felt like he wasn't really fully in control. Something was missing, just repeating to himself, I will kill that vampire, I will kill that vampire. It felt like he was on autopilot. We'll get an explanation, I'll talk more about that when we get to that scene. I really liked the fighting, but also Noe was slowly transforming into a monster. Even his hand became vampire-like, more so to say, with claws. But the thing that I liked the most, besides the fighting, we see Dante talking with Johann, and Johann makes a very good point about Noe. Yes, Noe might be more powerful than Vanitas physically, but Noe hasn't really killed anyone also, and Vanitas was the one that stole Dante's gun. And even Noe was thinking to himself during the fight, why can't I catch Vanitas? He's anticipating every move I make. Them clashing, actually, Vanitas cutting Noe pretty big over, even though he was suffering quite a lot of damage. And Johann, like I said, that good point that some people with power don't kill because they know they can handle every situation with their force. So Noe has never really been in a situation where he had to kill someone, and that was holding him back. Even himself was holding him back, and he realizes that he's holding back, and Vanitas knows that and uses it to his advantage. And that's very, very true. Even in that state, Vanitas still had his tactical ability, so to say, kind of manipulating Noe a bit to get an advantage during the fight, as he does always, using everything he can to win the certain situation. In this case, using Noe's weakness or lack of experience, however you want to call it, in their fight. Now we have Noe. Like, this was a long time coming for him, during a break in the fighting, so to say, venting all of his frustration about Vanitas not knowing anything about him, Vanitas not listening to him, just everything he had that he wanted to say for so long to Vanitas, which felt kind of cathartic for both me finally hearing Noe say it out loud, and probably for him also. But the thing that was more important, so to say, what he said there, Vanitas kind of went through here, went outside on the other side. He wasn't having any of it. He just shoots up another drug, and they go at it without saying anything again. And thankfully, we had our deranged Misha to kind of give us a lot more context and explanation as to what is going on with Vanitas. Noe is trying everything he can to do and protect Domi and find out about Vanitas. Now, Vanitas on the other side wants to protect his memories, but we see him going through such extremes, which kind of got me a bit thinking. I know he says he doesn't care about Noe, but I really wouldn't see him actually try and kill Noe willingly. Because according to Misha, Vanitas used a self-hypnosis on himself to protect his memories of that day. So no matter who's trying to go after his memories, he's gonna kill them. Again, amplifying that day. I really hope the payoff, the explanation is gonna be worth it when we finally find out what happened over there. And Misha, again, that psychotic ill vibe of character, saying even after you kill Noe, I'm gonna be there for you, be by your side forever. So yeah, I really hope we're gonna get a full episode at least, or half an episode explaining that today, because This episode was so good. The conflict between them, their inner struggles, their motivations, what they're willing to do, how far they were willing to go, was so good. Just the two of them. But we also had a third character that, yeah, she amplified the episode a bit more, because we see also Domi's side, or her inner world, kind of fighting with both herself and the hypnosis or whatever Misha used on her with her inner self, thinking to either jump to end the fight, listen to Misha, stay there. She wanted to go and protect Noe. Also was that inner struggle until she gets the idea from the hypnosis, her inner self that was manipulated by Misha, to just jump and end the fight that way. And she actually goes through it and jumps down from the carousel, free falling over. Even Misha was shocked at seeing Domi jump down. You can see how much she cares about Noi. She's willing to sacrifice herself just to protect Noi. Kind of almost broke the hypnosis and the control from Misha in a way, even though she was willing to sacrifice her life. We even see Louis showing up in her inner world, laughing and posing a very good question. I feel like Domi really needed. Are you doing that for Noe? That's a good question. Or for yourself? The last part is from me. Now we have Noe really trying to rush to her to save her, but thankfully I'm happy Domi didn't splatter down on the pavement. We have John showing up just in time at Luca's order, saves her, grabs her, but Domi was still under Misha's control, so he backed off, almost attacked Jan, telling her, I hate you, Jan. They weren't really her words. She was still struggling under that control. Misha, using her even more, wants to use her as a pawn to attack the others. And again, made even better, because we have their lover, so to say, Domi being willing to do anything for Noe, and Jan that always wanted to do something herself. This time she decides to fight with Domi, or fight for her, to protect her, to get her from under the control, and she's willing to leave Vanitas to somebody else, in this case Noe, telling him keep an eye on Vanitas. Even her own inner struggles and everything, she was willing to let somebody else have control for something she cares quite deeply. Lioness John from that episode, willing to let somebody else control the situation. And we have the fighting again continuing. Noe still thinking to himself everything that's happening with him, not really being able to fight properly with Vanitas. Misha was able to even disable Jan's weapon arm with his book. What I liked quite a lot, even though it's a cliche used in a lot of things, Noe seeing his reflection of what he has become in a mirror under the rubble, kind of that the way the church portrays the vampires as insane, crazed, bloodlust monsters. He's kind of becoming that, something he never wished to become. Even thinking to himself, I can't really remember Vanitas, never seeing his face. I haven't really known him properly, especially in this moment, but I know what kind of a person he is. Even though he's this asshole, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, he's also a good person, and actually tells him, I want to go back to the way it was. I actually thought to myself, can they, after this moment, and Noe realizing what free or freedom means for Vanitas, and it means being alone. I feel like Vanitas also has that similar guilt that Domi has, but the guilt he has is for what happened that day with Luna, which he still don't know the full context of that. And thanks to Noe, I think he was able to kind of reach to him in a way, telling him my name is Noe and not that vampire, with the way Vanitas was repeating at the start of their fight, and kind of shocks Vanitas a bit. Everything collapses around them as they were charging at one another, and telling him, I'm never going to set you free or never gonna leave you alone. And the episode ends, and I no, please give me next episode. This was such a good episode, man. More people need to watch Vanitas. It's such an awesome character-driven story, fun, shenanigans, very serious moments as per this episode. All the chibi comedic style things they always do. It's an awesome series, and more people need to watch it. And I can't wait for next week to see the episode. I'm curious where everything is gonna go. Hopefully, we're gonna find out a lot more answers to the burning questions we have. But yeah, this episode might be the best one yet for me. And it felt like the series was building up to this. Also made me think a bit back with how the series started in the first episode, with that illusion that Noe is going to kill Vanitas, and in this episode we got this conflict. So yeah, quite such a good series. So I'm curious what you guys thought about the episode. Let me know down in the comments below what do you think about the conflict, their inner conflicts of all of the characters, them fighting each other right now, and what do you think happened that day. Please no spoilers. Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So thank you again. Keep enjoying Vanitas. Bye bye.